Hello everyone and welcome to the return of the Final Judgment review segment.
Yay!
It has been probably like 7-8 months since
we'll just go with a long time.
Yeah, we'll go with a long time. But in case you were just watching the first Final Judgment, this is our review series for when we're not on the podcast, which is where you can catch basically what we call, we go with our first impressions of a game, and then like maybe a week or two later, we'll have our final impressions, which is where we'll do our review score. So if you want to see some reviews for games like Asura's Wrath and Final Fantasy 13-2, you want to go to our podcast archive, and if you can't find it, send me a message, and I will personally send you the episode with the review in it. So, because I have all the episodes backed up. But as I said, if it's your first time watching, I guess we'll give you a rundown of how things work. We have 2 to 3 people. Today it's 2, me and Adolfo. And we will talk about our feelings about a game that we played recently. This could be anything from 2 weeks ago to 5 minutes ago. And today we're talking about a game that we finished 5 minutes ago. This is also a game that you can find our first impressions for, I think, in episode 13, our early review scores in episode 14, and our second opinions, which is the first time we've ever done anything like that before for reviews, on episode 15. So, the game we're talking about today is Journey.
What can we say without pissing people off?
Well, first of all, the basic premise of the game is that you're this humanoid type thing, and
no name,
no
voice,
no voice at all. You just kind of you're in the desert, and you stand up, and you see a mountain, and you're going to the mountain. There's your plot.
Yeah.
Now, apparently, there is a deep, intricate, advanced plot about life hidden deep within the game, but you want your basic plot, and I just heard my dog in a room and it scared the shit out of me. Your basic plot is that you wake up and there's a mountain and you want to reach the top.
Yeah. I think the whole thing about it is like allegory for life. You start at bottom, you work your way to the top.
And then you die.
And you die.
And then you go to wherever you believe you're going after death.
Yeah. I mean, I think the game does a good job of giving you that feeling.
Oh yeah, I mean, you feel the first time. It wasn't my first feeling. Wasn't a feeling of accomplishment when I first beat the game. It was more of like, that's it. That's it.
Oh yeah. I mean, I kind of felt that too because I think we beat the game in like an hour and a half.
We beat the game in, I want to say, I can go check after this is over, but I want to say that it was about an hour and a half, between an hour and a half and 2 hours.
Yeah.
Which for a game that's being sold for $15 on the PlayStation Store, that's a ripoff. I'm sorry, you cannot, no matter how beautiful a game's graphics are, no matter how detailed the plot is, when it comes to video games, you need to pay for gameplay. Yeah. It could look like crap. It could look like this wall. This could be like the best graphics in the game. But if the gameplay's fun and there's a lot of it, then it's worth your money.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta give people what they paid for. $15 just seems a little steep.
For like an hour and a half, 2 hours. And if you've played it more than once, then it's going to be less than that because you'll be able to, you'll know exactly where you're going, you'll know exactly what you need to do, you'll know exactly where everything is, and then you'll speed through it in an hour. And if you do less than an hour, good God, you are a Journey master, and you don't play another game in your life, because Journey is not the one that you're going to say, Journey is not a game we'll say, sit down 10 years from now and say, man, that game was fucking awesome.
Yeah. It's not really... Well, it is kind of memorable, but it's not a game that you probably going to remember a long
Yeah, it's memorable for this generation, but after this generation, I'm not going to think twice about, oh, hey, remember the Journey? No.
It's definitely no Shadow of the Colossus.
Definitely
just
not.
Survived 2 generations now.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, the gameplay, which is what we'll get to now. The gameplay is X is jump, circle is a chirping sound, and then you do left stick to walk and
Right
kind of
stick
hop
to
up
control
the
camera.
things, and right stick to control camera, and that's your controls.
Yeah.
And you do the whole chirping thing, and that's basically how you do every single puzzle.
Yeah.
You walk up to things, hold down
Chirping.
circle, let go, and boom, you're done. Puzzle solved.
And that's how you communicate with people too.
Yeah, like during our playthrough, there was a guy who was a guy named Adolfo because he played it.
Yeah, which is really nice. And he showed me where everything was.
Yeah, he was showing us where everything was, things I didn't know where they were. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. But, I mean, the gameplay overall, after your first time, if you play it like immediately afterwards, chances are, now this is just more of a general opinion, not fact, I will state that, I personally would not be able to sit down and play that game more than once at a time. I couldn't even sit down in one sitting and beat the game because by the time I hit the mountain, I got bored. Because I got tired of just jumping and hitting circle to solve all of my problems.
Well, I didn't get bored, but it does get a little repetitive over time. I mean, I probably couldn't play it sitting all together, but if I probably took like a week off or something.
I got the trophy. You get a trophy for doing that.
If I were to take a few days off of it, I could probably come back to it. But yeah, it's not much.
Yeah, it's repetitive and downright boring. I will say it. Journey bored me. Fanboys go. I'm sure people will see this and they'll be fans of Journey,
They will want
and
to claw our faces off.
they'll be, oh my God, Journey is the best game ever. It is the most spiritual game I've ever seen, I've ever played. It makes me so freaking hard. I don't care. This is my opinion. The game is boring. It's pretty.
Grindstone.
It's pretty, it's boring at its core. Like after your first playthrough, it's not going to be as good the second time around.
I mean, as a story, Journey has a fantastic story. I mean, it tells it good and it gives deeper meaning to it and everything. But as a game,
I'd rather like watch a movie about Journey.
If it was a short film, it probably would have found greater success.
Yeah, because that you could say, oh hey, they worked hard on a movie. $15 not so bad. You know, it's a movie. I mean, that's what you pay for an hour-and-a-half movie on DVD. You pay about $15.
Yeah. But a game, I think the least that's acceptable these days is 5 hours.
5 hours for
like Call of Duty games, I think.
And that's bad too.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on that. A good game, if you're paying $60 for it, I want to get my money's worth. I want at least an 8 to 10 hour campaign. And then other features and replayability. I don't want to just beat a game once and say I'm done. But that's unrelated to this review. We're talking about Journey. So, and then there's the music, the music's probably one of my favorite aspects of the game, more so than the graphics and the story and the gameplay. I love the music a lot, the soundtrack's wonderful. And it's probably the reason why my review score isn't lower than it is, because it is low. I'll be honest. It's compared to like G4, who gave it a 5 out of 5. Which they're giving that to like everything now though. Yeah. 5 out of 5 is just, G4 is all like 5. WWE12, 5. Journey, 5. Probably some Call of Duty game, 5.
If it's Call of Duty, it's automatically giving you a 5.
That's true. But I don't feel like, I feel like the mainstream media overhyped it so people would buy it.
Oh god, they did. This game is the most amazing thing ever. It would change your life.
And so when people read that, people who are easily manipulated by mass media and reviews, I take them into consideration, but they won't. Overall, if I want a game, I'm going to look at gameplay of it and decide if I want it. Yeah. And a lot of people don't do that. They read reviews from like IGN, Game Informer, G4, and they just go out and they buy the game. And then they get pissed when they're disappointed. They're like, oh man, this review was such nonsense. It's like, well, you need to research your games before you buy them.
Yeah, that's what we do at RasterMasterGames. That's why we don't play all the big blockbuster titles. We play what we want. Yeah,
that's the thing about us that I've always enjoyed. is sometimes we play new releases, and that's because we get them at launch. You know why?